Everybody, I'm Marcus.
I'm Ryan.
And together, we are the Northwest Sports Fanatics. You know what it is. It's time for our weekly NBA power rankings and our review. We're going to go over the East and West All-Star starters. They was just recently named. And also give you our East and West Players of the Week. So, further ado.
All right, let's start it off. Northwest Sports Fanatic NBA Top 5 at number 5.
Number 5.
San Antonio Spurs.
OG.
All right, 33-11. They hit a little bit of a skid. You lost to the Thunder, which is still a top 5 team. No disrespect in that, by 6. You beat the Hawks by 26, so you kind of rebounded there, but then you lost to the Heat by 12. And that was just over the weekend. So obviously they play the Rockets on Tuesday night, so we'll have to see how they bounce back. I do like what Parker, Duncan, and Ginobili are doing. You know, they're averaging 44 points per game, so they're kind of holding it down. But just like you know, and I know, injuries can kill a team.
Yeah,
and right now you got Kawhi Leonard, injured, right? Danny Green, injured, right? Thiago Splitter, injured. And you can't have all these players injured and thinking you're
key role players
that really make a difference. And they need to rely on, obviously, Jeff Ayers, formerly Jeff Pendergraft from the Blazers. He's playing pretty well. I saw him on the weekend.
He's filling in a little
pretty
nice.
good role player to get some shots down low. Boris Diaw, obviously a huge player that they're going to really lean on. And Marco Bellinelli. Obviously, I think that they're going to be really relying on him for his shooting as well. What do you think about the Spurs? What's the situation with them right now?
About the Spurs.
The Spurs.
Me, I do think they missing DeJuan Blair right there as far as another big man, another body.
Right.
But the key stat for the Spurs this year, they're 1-10 versus teams over 500.
Ooh.
And 32-1 versus the rest of the NBA.
Wow. Pretty crazy. You don't really see a team that you consider elite to be that bad against the elite competition in the NBA.
All right, so when you the 32-1 don't bothers me because you're supposed to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, but the 1-10 when you go up against that good competition, you know you want to have that psychological edge for when you face them later down the road.
And you think with Popovich you'd be at least 5-5, right, against the top teams, but I guess obviously the age is starting to creep up and these huge injuries don't make it any easier either. So no excuses for the Spurs, but we obviously expect a little bit better, you know, from the best coach in the NBA in Popovich. Moving forward, let's go to the number 4 team.
Number 4
in the top 5. The Miami Heatles.
Okay, the Heat.
The Heat. They are 32-12. Victorious against the Lakers by 7 a few nights ago. Beat the Spurs by 12 on the weekend. LeBron was looking pretty good. Back to his King James self.
Okay.
Obviously, you play OKC today, Wednesday. Obviously at home. Huge game. Probably the best game of the year, arguably on TV. Hands down. King James, 26 points per game. Holding it down. I like what Chalmers, Ray Allen, and Michael Beasley are doing right now. They got all their averages up to about 9 a game. Very solid. And Greg Oden.
Oh, he's back.
Portland Trailblazers, we feel real bad about, the situation, and we could have had Kevin Durant and Greg Oden, but you know what? He is looking pretty good out there. 3.4 points per game in limited minutes. I haven't seen him twist his body in a way that it looked like maybe his career may be slightly over, so he's running up and down the floor pretty well. I do like what Norris Cole and Chris Anderson are doing as well. They're giving a lot of flair and energy, holding it down. What about you? What do you see with the Heatles right now?
With the Heat. Man, to me, it seems like something is missing. They need to do another Harlem Shake video to
I think so.
Shake it back up so they can go on 26-game win streak. But I think it's Mike Miller. They really missing his depth, his outside shooting. Going into this game against the OKC, they have won 6 straight against the Thunder. And the interesting stat for me is that they are 12-2 versus the West.
Wow, great stat. And plus, you got to think LeBron and KD. I mean, come on, can you ask for any better match? Especially with the way KD's playing. He wants to not only win the MVP this year, but he wants to win the scoring title again, or as many years as he can in a 4 to 5 year period. So build that legacy up a little bit. And I know LeBron may not say it publicly, but I guarantee you he's a little jealous right now with the opportunities and how he's being looked at compared to KD.
Because if he get those shot attempts each game, LeBron is more than capable of putting up the numbers.
Yeah, 30, 35 a game, no problem if he wants to ball hog it a little bit. I definitely agree. Moving forward now to the number 3 team, our hometown team, the Portland Trailblazers.
Rip City.
So
Rip City.
33-12. We played pretty good lately. We beat the Nuggets pretty handily and the T-Wolves, by 5-11. But we had a pretty bad loss against the Warriors. I don't want to say the officiating was the full reason, but that definitely had something to do with it.
That's tough on a back-to-back nights like that, especially when you play those two caliber teams. So
right, and I don't know. I just wish the officiating was a little bit better in that game. But hands off to Steph Curry,
Steph
man.
Curry, I'm telling you, man.
Splash Brothers.
I'm come out with my all I heart you team here in a minute, and my point guard is Steph Curry.
Right,
man. I love watching this dude play.
Yeah,
man.
he's really taking his game to the next level, and once he gets rolling, you can't stop it. You know, obviously the Blazers play the Grizzlies Tuesday night, so we're going to have to see how that plays out. Memphis has kind of been...
Yeah, they playing great right now.
Playing a little bit better.
They got Gasol back, so...
Right, and they're starting to kind of gel now, and they had some problems with the coach of Lionel Hollins, trying to get the gel together with the team, and then Gasol got injured, and now he's coming back. So we'll have to see how that goes. Moda Center is going to be ready for it, and LA, obviously... We think he's a little bit of a snub. You know, he should have been the all-star starter this year. They're going to release the reserves, I think, here in a couple days. So we're going to be able to find out if LA gets a spot with Lillard.
What LA need to do, man, he need to jump over him a car and
right.
dunk the ball. You need to get some. That's how you're going to get in the all-star game.
A little bit more 360 dunks and some showtime there. But
I don't like the jumpers, man. You need to dunk on over a car.
Right. Got to do it. Kia, where are you at? LA needs a deal here, Kia. Come on. But a nice key stat is one of the only teams in the NBA, the Portland Trail Blazers, all starting 5 players have played all 45 games this year.
Oh, wow.
And I think they've kept the starting 5 pretty much intact. And you can't really see that in too many teams this year, and that's a reason why the Blazers right now are 33-12.
Durability.
The durability, and C.J. McCollum, Thomas Robertson, Joel Freeland, Mo Williams. We're getting some good production out of these players, but my favorite right now is Robin Lopez, right? Man, he's just really... He's just playing great, up and down the floor, really giving LA some breathers when we need it, you know, and obviously get that offensive game rolling. What do you see in the Portland Trailblazers right now at this point in the season?
Portland Trailblazers at this point, of course, as of right now, my vote will go to Terry Stotts for NBA Coach of the Year for the job that he's doing. They've already matched the win total from last season. Already,
right?
So
huge
shout out to them. You know they're struggling a little bit right now. They started 24-5.
Right.
The first couple of games in their last 16, they're just 9-7. So I say they kind of worry. Get to the All-Star break, get your legs under you, come back in for the second half run.
Yeah, and I think Blazer fans right now, I mean, we're content because this was supposed to be the Warriors or Clippers spot, and we kind of stole it for now. So obviously we're going to roll with it and see where it takes us. Let's move forward to number 2. Now, this is pretty tough for me because of the way the games have been going, but I think based on how they have been going last week and now, I have to go with the Indiana Pacers.
Okay.
All right. So they're still playing pretty well. Obviously 34-9. You know, you're winning games, you're playing good defense, but you had a little bit of a rough stretch. You lost to the Suns by 24. Right. So the shooting obviously got a little bit cold. Then you played the Kings. You won by 5 in overtime. And then you ended up losing a game, obviously, there to the Nuggets. So I'm trying to wonder what team is the real Pacer team. But every team kind of hits a stretch. But I do like what they're doing right now. Paul George, I mean, obviously, Mr. PG, one of the best in the NBA. Man with 2 names. Playing great. But one key player you need to keep watching out for. And if he doesn't make the All-Star team as a reserve this year, it's a travesty. Lance Stevenson.
Hey.
Right?
Hey, you can rewind the tapes. I've been on Lance Stevenson for a while, aka Born Ready.
Right.
Yeah, he's showing up this year, man.
So what are some of the things that you see with the Pacers now, even though they're kind of on a little bit of... We've had them at number 1 pretty much the whole year. So what do you see with them?
A little bit of again, it's the All-Star break, man. A lot of teams can't wait to get there. They already got their vacation days set up and everything. But with the Pacers, a key thing for me, for them to take it to the next level, Danny Granger.
Right.
He's averaging 8.6 points per game right now coming off the bench. I think if he can get that up to maybe the 12 to 15 range, the Pacers would be darn near unbeatable.
Right, and especially if they can get that home court. You know, that's the main thing with Miami. You know, the Heat will...
They're only 3 games up right now, so it's going to be interesting going into that stretch run for the home court advantage.
Yeah, especially after the All-Star break to see how healthy they can be, how they can gel, and obviously see if they can get on a little win streak, maybe a 10-game win streak to kind of pad those stats and, you know, obviously give some of the starters maybe a little bit of rest for the backups because they're going to need it as we move forward into the playoff season. And then number 1...
Drum roll.
a team that we haven't really seen here too much, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
OKC.
Right? OKC with Mr. KD, a.k.a. the Slim Reaper. Watch out for him. This guy's looking to win the MVP, right? The scoring title, and pretty much anything he damn wants to at any given night. He had 41 a couple nights ago against the Hawks. It doesn't even matter. You got 3, 4, 5 guys on him. He still makes it. You won 4 straight. You're looking pretty good. Yeah, it wins against the Spurs, the Celtics, the Sixers, and the Hawks by 6, 18, 12, and 2. So they're pretty solid right now. You're very hot. I do like what I'm seeing from Jeremy Lamb. We talk about him all the time. I do like what I'm seeing from Reggie Jackson as well. They bumped the points up a little bit, 23.5 a game. I think they can get that to about 25, 26 if they keep working hard at it. And Serge Ibaka's been playing pretty good as well, rebounding the ball, boxing out, blocking shots like he normally does, the dirty work. What have you seen from OKC recently?
From OKC, for me personally, for them to get to the next level, I think they're going to need a little bit more out of Dirk Fisher.
Right.
He's been off this year. You know, they've been saying the age is catching up to him, but they need him to shoot those threes like the old Dirk Fisher normally does. A key stat for me, you know how the Spurs are 1-10 versus teams over 500.
Okay.
OKC are 14-6 versus the other 9 teams in the Western Conference that's over 500.
Wow. Pretty impressive.
So they're getting it done against the top competition.
And it's crazy that we have OKC up here with no Russell Westbrook. It's just amazing how they can still find ways to win. And that's a shout out to Scotty Brooks, the coach, former point guard, you know, when we were little kids, so we remember him really well. You know, he's a real true motivator, and when you got arguably the best player or second best player in the NBA in KD.
Oh, that helps.
That really helps. You know, you're going to definitely.
Well, right now he is the best player in the league. Right now, the way he's playing, he scored 11 straight over 30. I think it was 6 people have done that all time.
Right.
The highest is 16. It was Kobe, and KD is right behind him.
Yeah, he's truly doing something special this year. The Slim Reaper, watch out for him.
It's a joy to watch it.
Right.
Before we get out of here, we want to go over the All-Star starters was just announced.
Okay.
So in the East, you got, of course, Mr. LeBron James.
King James, right?
King James. The man with 2 first names, Paul George.
Paul George.
You got Carmelo Anthony.
Right.
You got Kyrie, Mr. Uncle Drew.
Right.
Irvin. And the last spot they voted on was to Dwayne Wade.
Right. Not sure if he's really deserving. I'd rather see Roy Hibbert in there, but you know they don't really do the center position anymore. What about the West? Who do we got in the West?
In the West, we got Blake Griffin.
Okay. Mr. Jump Over Cars, Mr. Kia.
Of course. Mr. All-Universe, All-World, #1 player in the league right now, Kevin Durant.
Right.
Slim Reaper.
Yeah, Slim Reaper.
All right. You got Kobe Bryant.
Right. A.K.A. Mamba,
but he's injured right now.
Right.
You got Mr. Kevin Love.
Right.
From out here, from the Schwego, out here in Oregon.
Mr. Double every night.
And you got my man, hey, Steph. I heart you, bro.
Steph Curry.
He's, man, telling you, watch this dude play, man. His crossovers and his shots, his finger rolls is just amazing to watch him play. And before we go, last thing, East and West Players of the Week have been announced by the NBA. In the East, you got Mr. Paul Millsap.
Right.
He averaged 24 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists last week as the Hawks went 3-1. And he's picking up that slack for Al Horford being out.
And I would say the Jazz are probably missing him right now, just a little bit, right?
So shout out to Paul Millsap. And in the West, of course, Mr. Kevin Durant.
Right, killing it.
Man, he's averaged 38 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists last week as he led the OKC to 3-0 week.
Well, you heard it here at Northwest Sports Fanatics NBA Top 5. We'll come back to you next week for another video. Northwest Sports Fanatics.